but we live right now, and we're gonna be talking about real estate. We're gonna be talking about the Atlanta market. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We on now. We on now. Come on in. We on. We on. Y'all don't
All
have to
right,
wait no.
hi, everyone. How are you?
Y'all don't have to wait another second, not a minute, nothing. Come on right now to the YouTube channel. I definitely want y'all on here. That way y'all can get some questions answered. If y'all need to get some questions answered, is none other than your boy, living legend, Loopy G. And right now, I have someone that is very special, very talented. She's the what is considered the jack of all trades, and her name is Segeeta Allen Bland.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
she has a awesome personality, an awesome smile. She's in the Atlanta area. She is not from Atlanta. Where you from? Tell them where you from.
Y'all want to know? Yes, Tampa Bay Bucks. Y'all seen us win. Get it together.
I think you just saying Tampa this time. Last time you
You
were from
ain't.
Jacksonville.
I was born in Philly. I was raised in Tampa. Get it right. I ain't never switched it up. Don't
So
try
wait,
to.
hold on, wait a minute. So you ain't never said nothing about Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. I ain't from no Jacksonville. I ain't from Duval. Respect the Duval because that's a Florida city too. But I'm from Hillsborough County, 813.
So
Yes.
what do Duval mean?
That's Duval. That's their county. Duval. Like Hillsborough County is our county.
Okay, okay, nice, nice,
Duval is this. Yeah.
nice. So my boy Marquise, he's actually in Atlanta, and
Hey
man,
Marquise, how you?
I can't wait to see this young brother get his shine on and actually start closing deals. He's been keeping up with my whole journey, and I've been basically keeping up with his whole journey, and really looking forward to seeing him become a great individual in his own way. He actually was really like knowing how to pull probates and stuff. So hopefully he can continue on that journey and start figuring out actually how to get in contact with these people and have the right conversations. Because hey, that's a niche that everybody don't know how or don't understand the approach or how to get those type of leads. So that with that alone, Marquise, you definitely have some talent there, my brother. So looking forward to being able to celebrate your wins with you and have you on this live stream. So, Segeeta, we're going to be talking about real estate today. For those that don't know, this is Segeeta Allen Bland. Yeah, just like that.
Bro, why you just
I gotta hit him with some so that yeah,
yeah. So
yeah. I like that. What you like that? You like that?
no, I don't.
Oh man, so I'm gonna have to find something. She like
Find something else because that ain't gonna work.
Segeeta Allen Bland. Yeah. Anyway, she's you want me to tell her you're a real estate
I'm
agent?
a real estate agent, but I'm also a certified tax accountant. I have a master degree in accountancy. So I you basically are the best of both worlds. I can basically help you financially with your taxes and bookkeeping and so forth. I have a company called LNS Financial Services. Actually, go follow us on Instagram. It's tax season. You might got tax questions. And I'm also actually associate broker right now, but I did pass the broker license in Georgia. So I've been a real estate agent 9 years now, licensed agent. But before then, I was an investor. I was flipping homes. I brought 9 homes within since I was 23 years old. So um,
Very
I'm
active.
not new to the industry. I've been in finance since I was 19 years old, over 25 years. So I'm not new to the financial industry as well. And I basically my clients get the best of both worlds. So, and we're talking about the real estate market, what's going on here in Georgia tonight, because it's a lot of agents giving false information, but saying about the Georgia market. But I'm here to, if you got an agent that knowledgeable of what's going on in the market, get you a truthful agent that knows what's going on. It's very knowledgeable.
Hey, John, if you need to learn more about probates, you need to click the link in my bio and go sign up for your Level Up Accelerator session with me. It'll be a one-on-one with me, and we'll be discussing a few things. I'll ask you quite a few questions, and then we can actually go from there. But you definitely want to go in there and get your free report that I'm gonna provide you, and then from there, hey, sign up for your Level Up Accelerator session with me. That way we can talk more about that. And by the way, if you're sitting right here still, John, I want you to come to the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube right now, put in Loopy G, and hey, come on in here and engage with us. If you have any questions, I definitely want you on here. So hey, just come on here and hey, be great. Come on to the YouTube. You get in the comment section. We're gonna be doing Q&A and all that. So Segeeta, so
Yes, sir.
let's talk about your start with fixing and flipping. So we were just actually talking about that, and you were basically breaking down that you started off buying houses, fixing them up and flipping them. Um,
Mhm.
like I want to know at such a young age, how did you get into the fix and flip game? Because I'm pretty sure you wasn't watching HGTV,
I sure wasn't. You
but
know what? It started by the environment I was around, the network, and I always say your network determines your net worth. So I was around a group of people that actually was doing fixing and flipping. So it's kind of like a domino effect. If you hang around the right crowd, you're gonna become a fixer and flipper. And a gentleman mentor, he kind of taught me the game of fixing and flipping. I brought my first house. I wanted my primary house, so I brought my first house, and after I brought my first house, I began fixing and flipping. And when I tell you it's some ups and downs to that, people were like, "Oh, I want to do it, this and that." I mean, this was 2005. 2006, I swear I was buying a house every 60 days. 60 days.
wow, hold
Yeah, it
on.
was just like that. It was a lot of HUD homes, foreclosure homes. Um, so we was fixing and flipping, taking the money, going to another deal, this and that. And that's when a lot of banks you could go like in certain banks and get a personal loan, like for home loan for like 50,000, and the home was 40,000. So you didn't even have to go through all that mortgage underwriting and all that stuff for home. So you can shoot, you was doing what you do. You brought two homes in 30 days if you knew what you was doing.
So is that still the case now?
No, that's not the case because of the market. When the market crashed, when it was 2008 or something like that, 2008 it crashed. So, some people got caught with property and all that. I was fortunate. I had this home I live in now, and then I had another rental home that I got stuck with, but I lived here, so this was my primary home anyway. But
Okay.
I held on to these two homes. So I end up actually selling my other property that I had. I brought it for less. I mean, I think I sold it for, I think it was 40K. And it's crazy. It was nobody but God. So I'm claiming God in this one because this house and my other house, I actually had a buyer, investor wanted to buy the other house for 40,000. Well, the bank, they were trying to get out of the mortgage industry, so they offered me, hey, you send me 15,000, and we'll give you the deed to each house. So they only wanted me to send them 30,000 to give me the deed to this home and my other home. So I
Oh,
had an investor that wanted to buy one of my homes for 40. So I'm a math person. I'm like, okay, the bank only want 30, and I'm getting two deeds. So I end up selling one of my homes to the investor, gave him the deed to that home. I'm free and clear of this home, and I still walked away with like 9,500 in my pocket.
so that was wonderful. So you really didn't take a L. You
No,
actually,
I didn't take a loss. No.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
you got a house, and that house, man, you actually still in the house now.
I'm still here, and I mean, it's paid in full equity and everything.
Man, so you just watched the it appreciate over the years. It just continued to
Mm-hmm.
appreciate. And how does that make you feel knowing that you made such a smart move, that was such a great investment for you at that moment that you may not have saw at the time, but it end up just being that it just woo 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 woo. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel great, and it took some time, like, because I didn't know it was real. I got the letter saying, "Hey," from the bank. I'm like, "This is a scam," because you have to be cautious of, where you I said, and I took it to my real estate attorney. He was like, "This real." So happened when we did the deal. Actually, the real estate attorney that I used, the investor used him as well. So it was like conflict of interest, but he couldn't expose what was going on to either one. You know what I'm saying? So when we was all said and done, we sitting there. He was like, "That's my attorney." So when he found out, he was like, "I ain't mad at you. Shoot, you got a deal." You know what I'm saying? But it feels great. It feels great. Most people look at it like, "Oh, she young, she don't know it." But I have made bad decisions. Don't get me wrong. I have made good decisions and bad decisions, and it feels good to able to listen to someone that was working with you, teaching you about credit, and in that life, you have to get around those people that know what they're doing, because they can say anything to you. And a certain individual told me, "Hold on to the house. Don't sell the house. Don't sell the house." And I'm like, "Okay, why not sell it? I'm about to get this house and go." He's like, "No, no, no, don't sell it. Don't sell it. Trust me, keep it." And I listened to him because I trust his judgment. He has taught me a lot in the housing industry as well as financial industry, the credit industry. And I listened to him because I was young. So I listened to him, and to this day, like, "Don't sell that house still," because it's paid for. So, huh?
The house you in now, he's
Yeah,
still
it's paid in full. I don't have a mortgage. I mean, I haven't had a mortgage in 9 years.
Awesome. So whenever you do decide to make a different move and or make a different decision as far as relocating, that house is just going to be straight cash flow for you. And
yes, I'm not getting rid of it. No, my kids, my journey is to have, when I leave here, it's spread down generation wealth. Like I'm leaving D's and LLCs and stuff to them.
wonderful, wonderful. So let's talk a little bit more about the fix and flips. I still want to pick your brain on that. Um, at such a young age, you did you have connections with contractors and things like that? I definitely want to know that. How did you get your connections with being able to get contractors to come in and out, like beat you up over repair costs, and knowing how to go and get the right material for the right price and things like that? How did that information start becoming natural to you? Because I'm pretty sure it just wasn't something that you knew. Tell us a little bit about that.
One thing about it, I'm a numbers person. So you give me a number saying, "Hey, this is going to be that." And any contractor that has worked for me, they know I don't play no games. I don't take no junk. I don't play no games. And they feel like, "Oh, she a woman, this and that." But I hired them quickly as I fired them. So, and far as keeping track of everything, remember, I'm accounting, bookkeeping. So you're telling me you spent this on this. So I want to see the material you brought, and I want to see what you spend on my house. You won't use my money to pay for your expense outside of that. So you can feed me bullshit, and I'm gonna feed you bullshit. So
Right.
basically, I mean, you have contracted like that. I don't hire them and fire them. I mean, you have to stay. My job is I'm losing money. And I had to they always call me happy, smiley, or whatever, but they be like, "Here she comes, she don't play." I mean, I've always been like that. I'm gonna learn something, even if I don't know, I'm gonna go research it. You gonna say a word to me, I'm gonna look it up to find the definition of it, to see what that means. Do we really need that? And then I'm gonna go get me another contractor estimate just to see who's number the best. And just because it's the lowest don't mean he's the best. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be cautious about that. And you gonna spend money and waste money. I mean, I had lost money because the wall, the guy that was doing the drywalling was slow. My floor guy needed to come in. So you have to stay up on your contractors and stuff. Hey, there's a time frame. If your cabinet's supposed to be coming on Friday, everything else need to be done, then it needs to be done. So if they can't get it done, they need to tell you that, because now you have people coming in, the plumbers, you have different people. So I used to just meet people and keep their card and test them out on little small jobs before I test them on big parts. And they used to be like, "Hey, keep me for your repairs." I'd be like, "You barely did my little water pump I need, in my house. So I can't trust you for a big job."
Right,
So
right.
you have to research your contractors. Nowadays, you have to see if they got bonding insurance. You have to do your own research. You can't go by nobody's word.
Right, right.
And don't pay them up front. That's what you do. Stop doing that. That's the key thing. Do not pay them contractors up front. If they was doing a job, they're called withdrawals. It's called
Right.
withdrawal. So guess what? Your first draw, I'm gonna give you your first draw. You get to this point, here go your second draw. I'm
Okay.
not paying you all up front. So
Like
that we ain't gonna work that like that.
I've learned quite a few things within the real estate business, actually becoming an investor. So I came into real estate as a wholesaler, and I still wholesale deals. I'm still a wholesaler. I'm gonna continue to wholesale deals, but I actually became an investor. And an investor is one that invests that money into the real estate. you know
Mhm.
so a lot of people, you may say that you're an investor because you wholesale, but that's not an
Mhm.
investor.
No,
An investor actually take money
take
out.
their own cash flow and
Right, and
credit.
right,
And
and invest in property. So I've made mistakes, and along my journey, I've just recently, I wouldn't just say just recently, I've started investing my money last year in real estate. As many people that follow me, see that I had got the Airbnb, which was a creative deal. I've started doing creative deal structuring with a buddy of mine. He's a partner, and I actually do some deals on my own creatively. So I've been learning how to do creative deal structuring, myself. And with that being said, we had an Airbnb, which is the townhouse, and we had to put some money into it. And I've learned about dealing with contractors and things like that. Um, by actually being hands on with getting the townhouse ready for Airbnb, and even with forming it into an Airbnb, we still was making investments. We had to invest in furniture and all type of things like that. So with this property right here, I knew nothing about getting a flat roof repaired and things like that, because on at the townhouse it's four stories, and on at the top you actually have the view of the city, and then on top of the actual roof it has a platform where you can have a chair as a sitting area. So you walk up to the fourth story, you go to the actual roof, and then on top of the roof there's a platform, so you have to walk up some little stairs to the platform. Now on the roof, there was some whoever built the actual
well, good.
whoever built the place. I don't know anything about roofs, but I hear that flat roofs are bad. If especially if they're not designed correctly to where that the water can flow off the roof. If the water sit on the roof of the flat roof, then most likely you'll start having damages done to your roof, which can start causing leaks and stuff like that. So this is one of those roofs where, well, this is a small gated community, and everybody had roof problems. Everybody. So basically, everybody that have one of these 3-story town or 4-story townhouses had to get the roof, fixed. So I've been learning about having the right contractors and things like that, because we had wasted a lot of time, and we had put a lot of money into the Airbnb, the townhouse, getting it prepared to be put on Airbnb. And man, it was an awesome experience. Like I'm not gonna complain, because everything was to teach me, and I find a bright side of everything out of every situation. That's a part of having a positive mindset and just being a positive individual altogether. Everything does not go your way all the time, especially when certain things may be an experiment. So this was an experiment for me, and this was one of the major steps of me saying, "Hey, I am actually an investor." So you're so right about getting not only the price quotes, and not just going with the person that's the cheapest because they're cheap. You
Hmm.
want to have somebody that's reliable and actually is going to come complete the job, do it on a timely manner, not waste your time, not waste your money, and really not what's the word, experiment on your project.
Right.
So you really want a professional that could come in and not experiment on your project, because there's a lot of things that have to get redone, more than once and things like that. And that definitely, it will cost you time and money. So with that being said, you know,
And I tell, not to cut you off, and I tell anybody, be involved with your investment. If you're gonna be an investor and you buying a property, get involved. You can learn the language and the
mm,
lingo of it. Don't have somebody else overseeing your job. You go see your job. You go see what they're doing. Take somebody with you that you trust that does, but don't just say trust nobody word. Oh, I done seen that before. Out of towners by here, and then back then they were like, oh, okay. No, it's getting done. Then they say, hey, can you go check my house? That's before I was an agent. I'm like, the floor ain't even in. What you talking about? Oh, this dude, you know what I'm saying? So you got to
mm,
stay on your own investment. It's your investment. You got to watch it. Just like if you was invested in the stock market, you're gonna watch your stock market. So if you invest in the real estate, you have to watch your own property. And
right,
people have to understand, yes, you can, we did flip and do all those things back then. It's still there, but you have to take your time and do these due diligence period with these properties that you find, because you have to realize if a house has been sitting on the market for a long time in this market, you have to realize how much money you have to put in it. Because this market here, houses selling, you put it on the market, it's gone. So if a house just sitting, it's either something major wrong with it, but you have to know your budget, what you're willing to invest in. And also you have to know your return that you're going to get back from the property. So you can't go in, oh, I want to look for property. I get all the time. I want a 30, 40. It ain't no 30, $40,000 houses. So stop calling these agents looking for that. It's not that. And as a wholesaler, you have to have scripts and whatever you get to get all these deals done back then. Because when I was investing, it was wholesalers finding the deals for us,
mm,
to go get it. So I'm not, I've been on that side as well, but I always made a decision based on the numbers that was told, that I can research and I can see, not just what somebody go by. I get all day, oh, I want to invest in something. Well, you're not going to get the 30, 40,000 a house. You may find an 80, 90, but you may have to put $100,000 into it. So if your return is not bringing you profit, why do that? And you have to have a contract you go in and trust that can, uh, go inspect your property that you're purchasing before you purchase it. Don't get somebody that you don't know, that I'm not saying don't know, but check your inspectors out, because they can go in there and look. Inspector be like, oh, you need plumbing, you need roofing, you need this, and this. They have their spreadsheet and they put all that stuff on there. And you say, hey, you get a contract to say, how much would you charge? They may say 80, but knowing that 80 is just going off what they're saying that needs to be done. You still have to give yourself another leeway of another 10 to 15,000, just in case they get in there and they see something else is wrong. So
mm-hmm,
you have to be cautious. I tell anybody, take it slow, do one deal at a time and see how it is. But even if you make $1,000 to $10,000 off that deal, you learn the process from it. As long as you ain't taking no loss, I feel like you won, because you learning the steps in it. So don't try to move fast and this and that. This is not the market to move fast in, because you're gonna get a house, get a deal, and you're gonna get stuck with it, and then you're gonna be mad. So you have to be cautious about what deals you're doing, because it's no houses. It's slim to none houses out here for first time home buyers. Anybody, like, it's slim. Trust me. If an agent telling you they can find a house in a good school district and it's 100,000, 250, they lying. And I can get a lot of agents, that knowledgeable agents that know their stuff, to tell you that. So you're not going to move in A1, A plus school district for 215,000. That's not going to happen. It's going to be a shack. If you want a shack, you might find that.
So what you paid for back then for 40 grand, you saying those properties now are about 200,000 and those are the shacks?
Yeah, not even the one to 40 grand. You gonna have to pay, even if it's a rundown property, 40 grand, you gonna at least pay 150, 160 for that same property.
Mm. So you've actually watched houses basically quadruple in value. That's how long you've been in the Atlanta market
Yeah.
messing with the houses. And that actually shows a lot. It says a lot about your credentials and what you provide to the actual marketplace, not only as a real estate agent but as an investor also, because you actually know the market and how you watched it grow, you watched it change, and it's totally different from where
Yeah,
it.
and it's getting higher. It's getting higher and higher. Right now, Atlanta is booming. The houses not getting cheap.
Right.
So you can
You,
sit there and wait. Talking about I'm waiting on it to crash. It ain't gonna be like that because the houses ain't going like it was back then. It was too much predatory lending and so forth went on back then. So now banks gonna hold on to their property because they know what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get an appraisal. You can't ask for your own appraisal. Put it like that. They sending them out there. Sometimes they're wrong, and you can fight them
mm,
for it, but it ain't doing that. Shoot, back then they used to say, "Oh, you pick your appraisal, be like, say this house 200. Shit, that house ain't one more worth but 100. So in the market cash, you ain't getting. Now you stuck with a house that ain't worth nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't getting none of that. And it's so aggravating. Oh, I know that somebody could get. Okay, well, if somebody can get you that house, go to that agent that can get you that house. I mean, that's just how the agents are. Like, it's some of them give false information. Like, I mean, they even posting it on the news saying the market is high right now. Just came across our news. The market is high. You can't get no houses. It's slim to none out here for first time home buyers. To
okay,
get in a decent area, school area, you're going to be over 315 and up,
but
period.
these are for people that are trying to get funding the traditional way. We're not talking about the people that are out there looking for properties to fix and flip and things like that.
Even the fix and flip. I mean, the fix and flip, you're still not getting, if you find the property 40 and 50,000, you're still going to you probably have to rebuild the whole dang house. Just to be honest with you. You see what I'm saying? But it's none out there. I mean, even if you go in our FMLS system, I think I did it the other like a week ago, and I just said the whole state of Georgia, 60,000 up that's listed, and it was only 60 houses.
Okay, okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not, and then some of them in real rural areas and stuff like that. But I mean, to each his own investor, whatever you feel, you want to hold on to and stuff like that. But no, you gonna have to get a house and fix it
And
and do something to it.
everybody, the main thing that's going on now, the people that are fixing, there are a lot of people that are fixing and flipping, but there are a lot of people that are actually holding on to properties, adding them to their portfolio and things like that. So what do you think about the Atlanta market and the surrounding areas as being great for rental areas, seeing that everybody can't go and qualify for traditional funding? Atlanta have to be a great rental area also, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can rent all day. I mean, that's why I'm holding on to my property. I'm gonna rent it out when I look to purchase elsewhere. I'm gonna rent this one out. I mean, especially if you buy a property and you can afford to sit on it and take what come, tenants in and out and handle that part of the leasing business. I say get it, buy it and rent it out. I mean, that's income coming, that's cash flow.
Right.
Especially if got the mortgage low and you renting, you know what I'm saying, twice as much as the mortgage.
Oh, okay, okay. So out there you can, if you're renting, you can rent twice as much as what the mortgage would be out there for
I
that.
mean, it just depends on what area. I mean, when I had my house, don't get me wrong, my mortgage was
You
four
get
hundred dollars.
you get a bottle of water. Keep talking.
Okay,
Right here.
my mortgage was $400, but I was able to rent out my house for $1,100. So I mean, I still walked away with cash flow at the end of the day. By the time my mortgage $425. I'm making $1,100 off the home. So I mean, do the math. Shoot, $600 if you want to say $600 a month extra in my pocket, and I was my own. Oh hush, you.
You see that smile? This is the best water on the planet.
Yeah, always. But I mean, do your due diligence and research on the properties you want as well. I mean, the agents, of course, we do it and so forth, but you have to do your own due diligence as well.
So what is it like being an agent right now? Are the agents like scrapping for deals and scrapping?
What are we scrapping for deals?
Not,
Shoot, you try to get a house and resell it. It's probably about 5 to 10 offers in on one house, fighting for them, fighting for the house, fighting for the deals. I mean, it's low inventory. Put it like that. It's low inventory.
so if it's low inventory, the wholesalers shouldn't have a problem out there selling properties, unless like I wouldn't quite understand it. But what I'm getting at
The
is that
wholesalers got to have property in order to sell the property. So if they can't find deals to be able to sell them, and because guess what, if they feel like, because this is seller's market, so you got to think about it. A wholesaler calling for somebody that's struggling, that either struggling to sell a house, right, or having run into issues, right? That's what wholesaling basically. Somebody that's probably going to financial burden, right, or having trouble selling their home, or just want to get out of it. Correct?
yeah, somewhat.
Okay, so if it's the market of your house going quick, it's a seller's market. How many deals do the wholesalers really have?
So explain to everybody that's on here right now what does a seller's market mean?
Seller's market means that anybody that own a home is beneficial to the sellers. So it's seller's market. That's what it is. And basically, if you're a buyer, that means the sellers, you're competing with different offers from the seller, and they don't have to settle for anything. That's a seller's market. That
So that
means sellers are benefit. If it's a buyer's market, that means it's more buyers than is buyers. A lot of buyers than no opposite. The sellers means it's homes are going fast. Put it like this: it's a lot of buyers for the sellers. So if you own a home right now, you probably and you want to sell it, you will be able to sell it because it's a seller's market quickly.
and with that being said, so the sellers are able to sell for top dollar right now, is what you're saying?
They top dollar or over. A lot of them going over. I mean, your offer, if you was on the table, just say for 250, you probably offering them 270 to win the offer.
Wow. So there are so what you're saying right now, would it be in the seller's market? That means that the buyers have to outbid each other just to buy the property from the seller.
Basically.
So the sellers are like yay right now.
Mm-hmm. They jumping for joy. So how many deals can a wholesaler really take for somebody's house if they, you know what I'm saying, if it's a seller's market, shit. For sale by owners even selling their damn house for a good price, you know what I'm saying?
Now, with that being said, do you think that that is going to change? With
Right
how
now, I don't see it changing.
with so not with all the drama that's going on with the COVID and things like that. People have lost their jobs and stuff like that. You still don't think that there's change coming?
I mean, I can't predict the future, but a lot of people had, I mean, 2020 was a rough year, all this COVID still going on and so forth, but a lot of people have been blessed during the COVID. I mean, a lot of business have flourished during the COVID. I mean, all the food industries, I mean, I do taxes for some of the companies, and I'm looking at their damn numbers like, what the hell? They did more money last year than they did. I've been doing their books for 10 years.
Yeah,
So
but
not everybody's hurting for it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, some people losing, but some people also winning. And if did it right all the time, constantly, you got to get a hustle going. You got to do what you got to do. So it's still people out here buying. It's people still buying multi-million-dollar houses and stuff in a pandemic. So you either make excuses or you go make some money.
Right, right.
So
So
it ain't getting it. All the prices just rising. Ain't nobody, you sit around and wait on thinking 2008 coming. That ain't coming. It ain't coming like that. Waiting on some house. You're going to be right here still wanting to buy a house because
okay.
these prices going up. This subdivision going up. Let me tell you something. First phase in, they may be at 300. That the third by the third, fourth house, they probably at 308. You know what I'm saying? By the fifth house, every three houses, they going up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
So, with you understanding your market, how do you think like cuz you know, you're looking at it from a real estate agent standpoint, and a lot of people, that may be on here right now, may be seeing things from a wholesale standpoint. Even as a wholesale standpoint, you are somewhat familiar with what's going on out in the Atlanta market right now.
Hmm.
As far as the hot areas, where are everybody able to find good deals to purchase as far as properties for fix and flips and things like that? Or are you aware of where people are finding these good deals?
It might be a diamond and rough and all over. I mean, somebody found a diamond and rough in what it was, Mapleton the other day. Somebody found a diamond and rough in Stockbridge. You know what I'm saying? It just depends. Like as a wholesaler, you gonna go look for, you gonna look for them things. So I was on that side, so I'm not saying one area hotter than the other because it's a seller's market. Where if you can get a deal as a wholesaler from somebody, that house is going to automatically sell. You're looking to turn around and sell it, fix it up a little bit and sell it. It's going to sell because it's a seller's market. So it's not one specific area in Atlanta where it's hot. Everybody want to stay in the city, but it's expensive as hell to buy now. As a wholesaler too, like you still got to buy a house in the city, especially like the area of Kirkwood, East Side Atlanta. Shit, his house not even fixed up. They could get 300,000 for a 3 bedroom, one bath that's ran down.
Oh
But you fix it up and do what you need to do, make it compatible to the other properties. You can probably sell it for 600,000 and 700,000.
man, like that almost sound like some numbers out in California out for Crenshaw or something now.
Yeah, and that's the area. That's mini Crenshaw. That's like that. Like that's the area. I mean, people want to stay in the city, but you're not getting those low numbers. If you want to take a chance, and I tell everybody, you want to be your own investor, team up with somebody, start an LLC. Everybody put a pot in there. You know what I'm saying? Get three or four of y'all. Get a group going. Call it a company, and hey, put y'all money in, and then go buy a property and flip and fix, and then get your return on your investment off of each property. And you can either invest back in the group or you can go do something on your own. Just it's better to keep going. See, people look at it like, oh, I'm gonna do it on my own, this and that, but it's about working together and building. I mean, building. You could try to do it by yourself, but a team. Why not build a team? I tell anybody that. Like my next project, I got people that want to invest in me because they seen me do it. But it was like, when you gonna get back doing when you get back doing it? I'm gonna eventually get back doing it this year. And I have a lot of people that want to work with me, but I'm gonna team up with somebody. If we see a property, hey, let's go get it. I mean, I'm a big person. I use my credit. I'm letting the bank finance me. Um,
Right, right,
so finance me, give me the withdrawals and stuff like that. Draws, give them to me.
right,
But I'm gonna team up with somebody. I'm not. It's not gonna just be all on me. So
right. So and that's the great thing about what you have going on, and it's different from what everybody else going on because you're not looking at things from a competition standpoint. You're a grown woman. You're looking at things totally different. So you're looking at it different from how the average, let's say, wholesaler or person would, because your mindset is totally different. You know what teaming up can do. You know what building actually do. And with that being said, you know you actually went from fixing and flipping and now you just really start diving into the commercial, the commercial aspect. How has that been going? Because like out here in Houston, I've seen a lot of businesses just crumble up. It's one in particular that really crushed me because it was a vegan restaurant, and it was a unique place. It was a Chinese vegan restaurant. And these people, they treated me so, man, like this is an elder Chinese couple or Asian couple. I can't even say Chinese, but I know there was Chinese food. There's a older Asian couple, and they treated me so right. They knew what I wanted, and if I didn't want this, they say, "Hey, do you want this? I know you don't want this today, but do you want this with this?" And they treated me so good, and the COVID actually shut them down, and they was in a high end area. I know you're familiar with the Galleria out here.
Hmm.
Yeah, so anywhere around that area is very high end. The price of living is expensive out there. So I can imagine, what the rent was for the suites out there for those people to conduct business. And COVID had, for whatever reason, put them out of business for a little while. Um, one because one because the COVID hit, and then two, I believe they had illness in their family, and then one of them ended up getting sick or something, so they end up having to shut down the place for about a good 2 months or something. And what for whatever reason, it put them back like a meal and some change, and they were just wasn't able to bounce back quite able to bounce back from that, and it kind of crushed me because, man, this was a unique place. But you've gotten into the commercial side. You deal with the commercial units and suites and things like that. I just want to know, did you see these people, like out there in Atlanta, get affected with having to shut down their businesses and things like that out there, like what I've seen out here?
Yes, I mean, I've seen it heavy. Like they shut down. I mean, one of my actually, I did one of the deals. We signed the deal right before COVID hit. Signed their deal, but actually, it's a number one breakfast spot right now in Atlanta. So we actually signed that deal right before COVID hit, like maybe 2 weeks before they started announcing COVID shutdown and all this, and we was already negotiating, doing everything. So we signed, and then within what is it? Within 30 days later, it basically stated that um COVID, shut down. So it prevented them from getting permits and so forth. And oh my God, it delayed them. And we was writing letters to the leasing uh office. I mean, it was hectic. And then my other client, we signed his right before um the year hit. And he was in the process of doing his permits and stuff. And with the all the government buildings and shut down, it put a burden on their getting their permits. But when I tell you those guys, they work diligently and try to get, it put a strain on them, set them back a little bit, but through their perseverance and keep going, when I tell you they're actually the number one breakfast spot, y'all got to check them out. It's Breakfast at Barney's. Yes, I was the agent on that deal. So it's a known restaurant. You can go in there and follow them.
What it's
But
called?
yeah, they actually signed that deal right before COVID. And in the back end of it, we went through a lot.
I'm gonna
We went through a lot, but they've actually been up and running. And when I tell you, everyone go visit there. And um, so when you're in Atlanta, go to Breakfast at Bar and let them know Segeeta sent you over there. Follow them on Instagram and also Graffiti. They should be opening in a week. It's also on the same block. So you can go get your nice little breakfast, then you can get down to the little hood little area. I ain't gonna call them hood, but little different atmosphere. And all on the same block. So those were my two clients on that block. I'm trying to take over the whole street. So, but
You
they both,
take over the whole street, or they
yeah,
are?
I'm gonna lease the whole street as they come open. I'm lease the whole
So,
street.
so it's just a lot of a
Nah,
lot.
they already full. They funny. They say Sageeta gonna lease all the buildings. It's one vacant spot over there. So if you need say, let me know. But I mean, they was really diligent about working with them guys and stuff like that during COVID. You have to improvise. So, and then my other clients that I've been doing their taxes for years, one of them, they're actually a food industry. So what they did, they just improvised. I mean, yes, they shut down, but guess what? They did more Uber, they Uber sales and stuff. Like they're really, I looked at their numbers like yesterday. Their Uber sales, their what is it? Uber Eats, all that, whatever the food, different food chains, and I mean they're like double their numbers. They like double their numbers. So during the pandemic, a lot of restaurants, people was tired of cooking. They was tired of being at home. So if you have to go with time, you know what I'm saying? You got to change your restaurant up. And the other restaurant I seen kind of failed is because they didn't catch up with the technology. You see what I'm saying? They didn't go get the Uber Eats. They didn't go get, call in, leave the restaurant, drop out, food and stuff like that. They didn't move quick enough for that. So a lot of them shut down. I mean, I've seen two of them shut down, but now they're back open, and guess what? They could compete with technology.
Right.
They're on an app. You can order their food, so it's kind of like everybody's preparing now for another shutdown. But I mean, you just have to have a game plan.
You say people are preparing for another shutdown out there?
Yeah, of course. Everybody think it's going to be another shutdown. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. So
As far as you really getting into the commercial leasing out the commercial units heavy. What are you more leasing out to people that are doing restaurants and things like that? Is that
they doing restaurants. What else they doing? I can't reveal different stuff they're doing. So
no no
it's
no
not just restaurants, it's other businesses. I mean, um, their food industry, event center. I just did an event center, but it's more going to be an elegant only occasion. They're coming opening soon in Douglasville. I can reveal them now.
right.
I have two other ones. I can't reveal the type of business it's going to be yet, but they're kind of like in the food industry, but not so much. So, but yeah, I mean, I've been doing them heavy. I mean, I have 9 commercial clients I'm actually working with now to look for locations.
So
So
that been a lot more a lot more that been a lot more traction for you versus having to fight with other agents for these houses.
I mean, I have. Don't get me wrong. I have. See, I have a lot of residential clients already under contract that's building.
Right,
So I
right.
don't have to do as much for them. They've been under contract. I mean, it slowed up because of the rain, because of COVID, because of shortage of supply. So my first quarter is looking very well because these clients that's been going into, so I have residential clients, but
But
it's just
these are
I'm
for
not,
new builds.
my clients are building new construction.
All these a lot of these are new builds, which make it even more different
I'm
because
not competing. I mean, we're competing with lots. Don't get me wrong, because if you go to know that if you go to a location and your client's like, oh, I like this, but I want to think about it. I want this lot. If they don't lock it down, that lot could be gone. So it's still a competition out there. Don't think it's just because of new construction is no competition. You could walk away, somebody could pull up and get an earnest money and lock that lot down. Now they don't have no more.
okay.
So you still losing out.
But these
So you have to know what you want. You can't, this is not the time in the business where you have time to think about it. You study wrong, you study long, you study wrong, basically. Either
and
you want the house or you don't want the house. Just know it ain't gonna be there.
but these are lots that are already basically preparing themselves for new bills and stuff like that. Am I correct?
Correct, by the builder. These are
So
lots that they opened up.
these are neighborhoods that are in their forming process. The people that have already then bought the land and they're just starting to
Yes,
divide it up for houses. These are those type of lots.
yes,
Yeah.
correct.
So that's a different type of playing field also. So as far as like regular houses, that's not really your go-to thing right now. You
I
basically.
mean, it just depends on where my client's at. I mean, I had a client uh thought they want to go to, resale. It was they went there. I mean, it was just the other day. They went there and I asked them, did they like it? It's up to them. They loved it, but they didn't want to, the seller said they're not doing nothing else to it. You know what I'm saying? So you can fight for repairs and stuff and want stuff done, but it's a seller's market. They ain't gonna have to do nothing. And I told them, hey, somebody else gonna look at it and say they want to do it. So they walked away from it. And then they was like, oh, my husband said he really like, cause he looks. I said, baby, that house is under contract right now. That was 3 days ago. The
Oh,
house is under contract.
so so right now it's either you want it or you don't want it. The sellers are not really doing too much negotiating, is what you're saying. They
Right. They're not doing that negotiation. I mean, I have good negotiation skills, don't get me wrong, but it's you have to know your negotiation skill. I can't give my negotiation skills out and this and that or whatever. What I do, the strategy I use, you have to just choose your realtor and hope she or he good at what she do.
Oh, okay. So okay, because I'm so like I don't know anything about that because I'm a negotiator myself. I actually talk to homeowners and negotiate prices myself. So it's a little bit different for me also. So I definitely get what you're saying. So I thought real estate agents don't really do any negotiation. They just say, hey, this is what the seller want. Is
Oh
you
no, 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 no. We don't do
okay?
that. I
Okay.
mean, I don't do that. I don't know what other agents do. No, you. I'm working for my client. It's in my best interest of my client. That agent working for their client. So just because they ask for that, don't mean I'm gonna offer that. But you have to keep it realize it's a seller's market. So if it's something you really want, you have to be aggressive at whatever you want.
Mm.
You can't think you finna lowball them and they got two and three other offers. It's not gonna fly if it's a house you really want.
Right, you basically gonna turn them off, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, they
Yeah,
not
they're gonna just throw your offer to the side. Like, no, decline.
right, right." Okay, so it's pretty stiff out there, then.
Yeah, it's real stiff.
So everybody in Atlanta, hey, in Georgia, y'all kind of hear from herself. Segeeta is basically telling you guys, um, the way the market is right now, especially out there, people are able to get what they want. And I remember you showing me a little bit about what's going on out there. And well, I think I was showing you what that was me. I was showing you a little bit about what was going on out there. And there are more people that paid cash for houses that was over 500,000 than there were, in the under $500,000 mark, which is usually like your typical wholesale deals and things like that. Like people are spending more on houses that are like 500 and up, going to $1 million and stuff like that. So the market out there is looking like crazy, crazy. And that was like my first time really even just kind of looking at the market, and me looking at it from that standpoint. I was like, wow, it wowed me, to see that that was like a hundred and maybe 150, 160 some houses that had sold for cash within the past 90 days. And it was like 100 of them had sold, that was, priced at $500,000 or better. That was an eye opener, and that should be an eye opener for any one of you out there that's in that market, that really is not studying your market. Things are people are spending money out there.
Yes, they are. They are spending money. The Atlanta market is booming. Put it like that. It's booming.
They're not just spending money traditionally. These people are spending cash money, and that makes a big difference. People out there spending cash money. And there it seemed like it's not I don't know, I guess, man, there's just a lot of rich people out there. But
There's a
like,
lot of rich people. Like on the news, it said, let me read what the news said: largest growth in sales since 1980.
and when was that?
That's on Fox 5 News
And when was that?
today.
Yeah.
Big demand for city living. First time buyers struggling to enter market. This the news said this now. I didn't say this. That's the news. You see that 2020 real estate.
Yeah, so you'd say the first time home buyers are struggling to find deals because other people are coming in that don't need traditional funding with cash and basically buying these people out quickly.
Yes, it's sad for first time home buyers.
So people don't even have a shot, at getting traditional funding because it's people that have cash that's coming in and dropping it like it's hot. So that
It's just a competition. It's competition, no matter cash or whether you're doing conventional money. It's just competition, whether it's cash or what. They, it's none. It's slim to none. So you find a house and you want it, you better make a decision right now.
nice, nice. So with that being said, a lot of people out there, if you're only focusing on wholesale deals, I think you might want to get ready, to start, transitioning more towards creative deal structuring because
Yes,
this will be a point in time where you will be able to help, the first time home buyers that really trying to buy a house and get up out that apartment or get out that condo and get a house. You can actually do the financing for 'em and create that second lien position if possible. So really want y'all out there to understand that, especially out there in Atlanta, Georgia, like things are looking like totally different from your average market, and you may want to add more tools to your toolbox and make sure you be able to conduct basically any type of transaction, because right now you basically have to be a real transaction coordinator, or like my boy, brother Eddie say, you better be a transaction engineer because right now you guys may be missing out on a lot of stuff, and man, he always dropping a lot of good value and a lot of good knowledge, and
be
man,
creative. That's all I can say. Be creative at whatever you got going on. Be creative
yeah,
and make sure your books and your taxes are together.
yeah, all that right there, that part.
It's
That
a booming market. It ain't easy to get no deal. I mean, it's different lenders, don't get me wrong, but make sure your book's right. Claim entrepreneurs, claim your money. If you're trying to purchase a house, claim your money on your taxes. That's coming from the tax part of me.
right.
Unless you coming out here to buy cash.
And
So
hey, most people aren't doing that. The people that are following me and watching me, a majority of these people, are guys like me that are wholesaling and figuring out creative ways to do financing. That way we can take control of properties. Until we had that big bag where we just dumping it out and saying, hey, let me buy that. Hey, let me buy that. So until then, y'all better start really getting a grip on different tools that you can use and utilize. Especially in markets such as Atlanta, Georgia, and the surrounding areas. I don't even know what the surrounding areas looking like, but I'm pretty sure if the heart of Atlanta is steaming like that, it's not going to be too much longer before the rest of the outskirts,
no, the outskirts booming too. It ain't just Atlanta. It's the outskirts. It's here, period. Like outskirts too. You're not finding no homes. I'm not talking about just in the city of Atlanta, like Atlanta, but talking about going there, Stone Mountain, Latonia, Douglasville, Mableton, Alpharetta, all them cities is booming. It's just booming, period. Hampton, Stockbridge, Noonan, Conyers, Covington. It's just a shortage. I'm sorry, the houses are going.
So as far as that market, right? Do you still see a lot of old ran down houses, or they done basically spiced up majority of the city? And how's it looking now as you drive through certain areas? Are you still seeing like the hoods really are hoods, or are you seeing it more like you like, man, I remember when it
Yeah,
was.
I remember when. And it's some parts of the hood that's really hood they trying, but it's real hard. You got to get some good investors going there, just wipe it all out together, join together and do it. But you'll be riding through something like, dang, I remember when that was a rundown, but now a whole apartment going up, a townhouse going up. I mean, they're building an apartment complex. Shoot, I seen two apartment complexes going up recently that they almost done, and it was just woods. So it's crazy. You're right by one area, you think it's a rundown house, but next thing you know, you have a wholesaler, somebody investor that flipped that house. So it's called the diamond in the rough. You know how it is wholesale. It's some out there, but don't think you finna boom, boom, boom. You gonna have to get creative and get them deals.
Right, because probably even with the wholesale deals, I can imagine, how it is with those deals, people getting outbidded and things like that, even for those properties, to where they, the average investor that basically know his or her numbers can come in and basically, construct their own deal, lock their own deal down, and be cutting out the wholesaler, and basically outbid the wholesaler, to where that the wholesalers really aren't able to make any money, because they know they money, that they know their market, and know how, their cap, as far as how much money they'll be able to spend and things like that. So
Hmm.
I can see how it can be a bit of a challenge for those. And then, from my understanding, they're trying to, they have, or tried to put different laws in place, for wholesalers, to slow them down, if not, stop them completely.
Yep. I mean, hey, get creative. Tax season coming.
Right, right. So everybody, that's the word of the day from yours truly, Segeeta Allen Bland. Yeah, get creative. That's the phrase. Get creative. Get creative. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Let's be productive, not destructive. Let's be proactive, not reactive. Let's be an attraction, not a distraction. Excuses are useless. As the one and only Sagita say, get creative.
Peace.
Peace.